Good morning, and thank you for choosing NYNJPA Weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino, and welcome to Friday. The area of low pressure that produced severe thunderstorms yesterday afternoon, with some locations actually experiencing weak tornadoes. Parts of eastern Monmouth County of New Jersey, the New York City metropolitan area, the Bronx, Queens, uh, parts of Brooklyn had significant wind damage. The National Weather Service is going out to confirm whether it was from a tornado or if it was just straight line winds. But a lot of reports are saying that a weak tornado developed, and that tornado developed because air was rapidly sinking to the surface via the strong low-level jet streams we were discussing yesterday, and as a result, enough wind shear developed to produce a weak tornado. So very, very severe weather developed yesterday, but the good news is that that low pressure system is rapidly exiting into New England. The cold front is exiting off the coast this morning, and behind that, high pressure will be in control from this afternoon on through Saturday night. After Saturday night, well, there's a cold front out to the west, and that cold front is going to produce a few isolated showers on Sunday afternoon. Most locations will remain dry, but the important thing is that the new air mass that comes in temporarily cools us down before we return to near normal conditions once again. Let's take a look at the forecast. This is the water vapor satellite picture. And what I want to show is that we have two distinct jet streams. One is a subtropical jet stream, and the other one is the polar jet stream. The polar jet stream is in blue. Now, there is a large ridge over Alaska and the western coast of Canada, and that is producing a deep trough over the northern United States. I circled a disturbance in red, and that's our next disturbance. That's the cold front that's moving through. Now, this disturbance is very intense, but it's going to remain over Canada. But this disturbance is going to have a major impact on not only our pattern, but also the impacts of Hurricane Igor, which is right on the edge of the satellite picture. Igor is going to approach Bermuda and have a significant impact on Bermuda, but because of that disturbance over the Great Lakes, it will not move any further west and will end up in the northern Atlantic, where it will become a very intense extratropical storm. The Canadian Maritimes are in for a rough early part of next week. As for the subtropical jet stream, it's mirroring the polar jet stream, keeping a trough over the eastern United States, but it's much weaker and will not have a significant impact on the weather pattern. Let's take a look at this forecast. This is the European model guidance that's from Penn State EWAL website. That's an excellent website for any type of model data or observations that you'd want, especially for the eastern United States. It's an excellent website. I suggest everyone visit it. Now, this is for Sunday evening. Notice that the deep upper low over Quebec and the deep trough as a result over much of the Northeast is going to pick up Hurricane Igor and kick it out into the northern Atlantic. Unfortunately, it's going to have a direct impact on Bermuda. Meanwhile, over the northern mid-Atlantic, we have a nice ridge. In fact, notice that there's at 500 millibars, there's a little bit of a ridge pumping up over the coastal waters of New Jersey. Basically, high pressure will be in control. We have a weak cold front that's going to move through. It's not going to have much in the way of moisture to it, so I only expect a few isolated showers. But the cold front will exit on Sunday evening. High pressure will be in control for the early part of this coming week. And when we look at Tuesday, we can see high pressure is moving off the east coast by the evening hours. But notice the 500 millibar pattern. This is called a negative NAO pattern, where you have a deep upper level low around the Canadian Maritimes, a ridge starting to develop over Greenland. Notice that we have a trough starting to develop over the northern plains, but we still have our southeast ridge fighting this pattern. So what will happen is that our temperatures will slowly moderate. We'll move from the lower 70s to the mid to upper 70s, potentially hitting 80 degrees by Wednesday. But overall, the negative NAO pattern is going to win out. And when we look at Thursday evening, we could see that the polar air mass is on the move. We have a strong area of low pressure over the Great Lakes that's going to approach the East Coast by Friday, and that cold front with this low pressure system is going to bring a much cooler air mass into the northern mid-Atlantic. So we have a negative NAO pattern in place. Much of this week is going to remain near to slightly above normal, with temperatures. In fact, the Philadelphia metropolitan area could actually see lower to mid 80s for a brief time on Wednesday. However, the warm conditions end rapidly by Friday evening as a very strong cold front that will be over the Great Lakes on Thursday evening and through the East Coast on Friday evening will provide a much cooler air mass with a polar influence. How cool? Well, if the European model guidance is correct, and I think it is, temperatures for highs could be in the 50s and 60s for highs on Saturday and Sunday of next week. Thank you for using NYNJPA weather as your weather source for the northern mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent weekend.